Hello and welcome back to the Fiber Factor. I'm Karin Strom, CEO of Schoppel Collection.
I'm Shroyer, Creative Director.
And we'd like to start by congratulating Lauren Riker for winning challenge number 4 with her Fall Frolic outfit, which she knit on the AliExpress, predominantly with some hand touches with the garter stitch and so on.
Yeah.
Anyways, congratulations, Lauren. You did a fabulous job. Actually, all the contestants did a really great job using the AliExpress. We were very, very pleased with what we got this time around.
Yeah, not a dud in the bunch.
No, it was
Good job, guys.
Good job. So now, what challenge are we on?
We are on challenge 5, which means we're getting close to the end here, but we still have 2 challenges and then the grand final challenge.
Which is going to be, we're going to narrow it down to 3 people.
Right.
2 more challenges, then we narrow down to 3 people, and then we have the final one. So you guys, contestants, you have 2 more challenges to show us what you've got. And this challenge here is, this one's going to challenge you more than some of the others, I have a feeling, because we're tossing in a couple of other things. First of all, we're tossing in a method called art felt. This is a way of felting that's based on a special paper, and we will be sending you the link where you can watch a 1-hour YouTube video that tells you exactly how to art felt. It's actually something that's very, very easy and quick to learn, and can give you some phenomenal results the first time around when you try it, which is different than many other forms of felting.
It's really fun. Yeah, it's a lot of, you can get a lot of versatile effects, and you can also work with all kinds of different materials. And I have a few pieces here that are made really thin, kind of drapey, ethereal.
This is really light. So that shows you, I mean, you can make very, very light yet very, very strong material out of it. And this has a little bit of a glisten to it too.
Right, there's metallic yarn that's just laid right over the top and felted right in.
Very
and
nice.
then this is a little thicker. This is a pillow covering that this is done with the pencil roving, correct?
Correct, and that's really subtle, and this here is really dramatic, so it shows you different ways that you can actually use it to do subtle effects, dramatic effects. And another thing that you can actually do is you can actually mix it with fabric. In other words, you can felt any kind of fabric, doesn't have to be a silk, along with the wool to produce your own little fabric, such as we have here. This here is a cotton chiffon, and then you can see the back side is actually felt, and if you look at the whole piece when it's hanging up, you've got the chiffon on the outside here, and down here you have the felt on the outside and the chiffon on the inside. So you can incorporate fabric with it too.
Right,
So
and you named it art felt because you can place things really specifically, right? And
Yes.
it'll lock into place and then be held in place while it's felting, so you can get really beautiful
well,
pictures.
because it's very artistic, and thus we came up with the name of Wearable Art for this challenge as well. But fear not, you don't have to do just felting. It does involve knitting as well.
Exactly. These are all from Schoppel, and as you know, he makes a lot of our most popular yarns as well as rovings, and these are all made with the same material. So this in-silk here is a wool-silk blend. This is the roving, and then it turns into this. And he has patented a process where it's slightly felted. I really love these yarns. I call them high-definition yarns because the stitch definition is crazy.
Yeah.
And they're also resistant to pilling. They don't pill as quickly as a single-ply merino might if it's, it's really soft and it's subject to abrasion. This one doesn't pill as quickly, which is great.
Yeah, and they bloom a little bit though
That's true.
after you knit with them. I mean, they do get softer. They look a little stiff, I think, sometimes when they're on the hank, but don't let that scare you. After you knit these babies up, and the more you work with them and you hold them in your hands, they become very pliable and lovely and have a nice drape and everything else.
Right,
So.
the purr actually knits, and the in-silk as well. You can go anywhere from a 9 up to an 11, and it really will relax and get really nice and poofy. The gradient is a little lighter. It's more of a 5 stitch to the inch kind of gauge, whereas the Reggae Ombre is about 4.5 stitches to the inch. So you have a good range of options in terms of gauge and also colors.
And when it comes to the Reggae and the pour, those are actually produced out of his pencil roving, which comes in different colors that are going to coordinate. So you can get the same pencil roving in the same colors as you're going to be able to get in some of the pour and the Reggae Ombre colors. Actually, even some of the gradient colors too, because he always starts with this merino roving. So it makes everything coordinate nicely. Therefore, you could do an art felt body, knit sleeves. That's
It's dyed
just
to match, sort
yes,
of.
yes. So you can make the whole thing coordinate. And to make this whole challenge even a little bit spicier, we are having a special judging.
Right, and it's going to be pretty exciting. We're taking the show on the road, and we're going to Stephen B's Yarn Garage in Minneapolis.
Actually, I think it's his studio. He has,
studio.
I think Yarn Garage is his separate shop, and then, and now he has his studio too, which is an old firehouse, with the ceilings are painted silver. He has chandeliers hanging down. It's very Stephen B. And if you don't know who Stephen B. is, I'm sure we'll have a link up on our site so you can check him out. He is a knitter extraordinaire, designer extraordinaire, a very, very artistic person.
Yeah.
Thus, our challenge, Wearable Art, falls right in there. But there's something else he's really well known for.
Yeah, I think Stephen is one of my favorite knitters out there because he kind of sees the world as yarn. So he would look at the cables, that we have around here for the camera, and he would want to knit that. Or, like you said, red rope licorice, he could knit that. And he kind of just incorporates whatever is around him into his sweaters using fabulous fibers as well from his store. And he makes these one-of-a-kind pieces that are really inspiring. So we're going to ask you to do the same.
Yes, and he's also an avid art felter, so he's done a lot of amazing pieces, so we couldn't think of a better judge. But we've also got other judges that we will be having them. And we have Karin Strom, who's coming from Interweave Press, and who else do we have?
She's bringing along with her Lisa Shroyer, who's now editing Interweave Knits magazine. She was of Knit Scene and Knit.wear, I believe, as well.
And then we also have Amy Detjen, who is also a knitter extraordinaire, teacher.
She works with Meg Swanson at Schoolhouse Press a lot and is part of Knitting Camp.
Yeah, does a lot of teaching and so on. So we've got a great lineup of judges. We're going to be holding it at Stephen B's. It's going to be live, and it's going to be on
We're going to have an actual runway with professional models, and it's going to be quite an event. We're going to film this all. So keep that in mind when you're making your garments. You need it to look fabulous from the runway, under lights, on a model, walking. So whereas we had you photograph your garments before, and that was a challenge. This is a whole new challenge, but it's similar. You have to think about how this garment is going to move, how it's going to look under all those circumstances, and whether it's going to read and kind of jump off the runway at the judges.
Right, because runway impact is going to be one of the things that we judge them on, and of course we'll be judging you on creativity, as we always do, in workmanship. And then our fourth factor is going to be your use of materials. And how you use those materials. You've got an awful lot of options this time. You've got the art felt, you've got the Schoppel yarn, and you need to have some kind of an unconventional knitting or unconventional product in there. It can be worked into the art felt as well, rather than the knitting, but just some kind of an unconventional product in there. So there's 3 different materials that you're working with, and the use of those combined and how you combine.
We want to point out that you can use fabric, but that will not count as your unusual material. Fabric is really wonderful with the art felt, and you can use it as a lining or a foundation or even just as an accent, but it won't count as your material. It's just too close to yarn.
Yeah.
We want this to be a little hard.
Yes, it shouldn't be a fiber.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. And unless it's like...
It'd be like doll hair or mop, broom things. I don't know.
You could shred garbage bags.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah,
I think Stephen's done that.
I think I know he's used videotape,
That's
cassette
true.
tape. He's used rope. I mean, he has used chains, all different kinds of things. So whatever you can find, except for the kitchen sink,
Right.
we're good with. Anything else? Oh, deadline date.
Deadline date is October 2nd, and that gives you about 3 weeks to play with the art felt and the yarn and whatever else you can come up with. So, that's not an insignificant amount of time, but it's not forever either, so please get started.
Yeah, and we look forward to seeing what you have.
Can't wait.
Yeah, cannot wait. Have fun.